Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. So guys, it is Saturday morning and I'm going to show you the new project that I picked up a few days ago. It's been sitting outside the front and I've been doing other bits and pieces and not being able to get to it. So I'm going to show you that today. It is a cold one. As you can see, I've changed hats. Now I've got beanie hat on. It's just, yeah, the temperature is absolutely plummeted in the southeast of the England. Anyway, I'm in the workshop and I'm going to bring it in and show you what we've got and what we have to deal with. I have done one of these before, but it's a little bit different, as in the engine is different. I've not done one of these engines in this car before, so I'll explain everything once I bring it in. So yeah, let's just crack on. I'll bring it in, guys, and I'll show you what we've got. Let's do this. Right, guys, let's get into it. I've got the new project just here. I'll show you what we got, and let me know in the comments what you think about this one. So it's a Fiat 500. Yeah. It is a Fiat 500 and it's like really light baby blue colour. It's quite unique. It looks really nice, I've got to be honest. Like sort of look at that down the side. These wheels, I don't know if they're standard to this car or not. It's only a Fiat 500 Lounge. It's not a sport, but it has got a bigger engine for some reason. I've not done one of these before. This is going to be the first one that I've done with this type of engine. So, but yeah, we're going to see how this goes. It is a 2009, so don't worry about that number plate, because that does not exist anymore. That is a private plate that's been removed off this car. And the correct plate, even though the correct plate is slightly, it's not like an original plate, it's still got a private plate on it. It's weird. It's really strange, this one. But that means nothing now. So that's why I've got no issues with showing this number plate. I don't care. So, yeah. It is a 2009, but very sporty wheels, I've got to be honest. They look pretty good. And do you know the other thing about this car as well, which I've never done before? The rear on the back has discs and pads on the rear as well as the front. Discs and pads all round, which is, it's a bit strange. I've not done one of these before. Discs and pads on the rear. And that's because this car, I think, is because this one's got the 1.4 petrol engine in it. It's not got the 1.2, it's the 1.4 petrol, which is kind of the same as the 1.2. You can see that little bit there is kind of the same. So they just made it a little bit bigger. It's got a 100 horsepower engine. And I don't know, they must have thought, well, let's put some good discs and pads on the rear then. Got a normal type of coolant bottle there instead of over here. So it's very different to, yeah, I've not done one of these engines before. I definitely stay away from the, they do another one called Twin Air, which is a 1 litre, or is it 900cc or whatever it is. But I stay away from them ones because, yeah, they have got a really bad reputation. Underpowered and all sorts going on there. And I don't think they're both the most reliable that Fiat did. So I thought this one come up and I thought, do you know what? It actually looks pretty nice. It looks sporty with the wheels. And it is the Lounge. So it's got the other little bit of extras around the car. There's no front damage or side damage to this car. All the damage, guys, is at the rear. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's a bad thing. But I'm going to show you exactly what is going on the rear. But yeah, first of all, what do you think about the front end and the sides? It honestly looks a nice car. So we have to do no sort of repairs to the front end or both sides of this car. So let's go round and I'll show you the rear where the actual damage is. This is a Cat S because of this rear damage. And when you first look at it, you think, oh, well, do you know what? It ain't actually that bad. But once you get a little bit deeper and start looking into things, it is. It needs this definitely 100% is going to the body shop. There's no way I'm going to even try and attempt to do this one because it does need a pull. So even though it's been hit here, you can see that it hasn't. That the crash bar doesn't look like the crash bar's not touched the actual behind. There's still a gap here, and that ain't going to spring back, I don't think. But that ain't touched the inside of the tub. But obviously something else has hit it higher here, and obviously pushed that in here. So as it's pushed it this way, as it's pushed it that way, you can see that it's pushed it on the quarter, damaged this rear light as well, tail light. But you can see the gap. I can put my fingers down there. The gap should be like this. It's not shut, this bonnet boot. But the gap should be a lot tighter. Yeah, I could put my fingers down there, look. So, yeah, that's obviously that quarter's been pushed that way a little bit. So this is definitely going to the body shop. You can see the state of the wheel. It's got like a little angle on it. And I reckon that's all to do with that kind of push. I've already had the body shop guy. He's already come and had a look at it for me and said, I said to him, well, have I got to replace the rear subframe first before you do any work or anything like that? He said, no, what'll happen is that once he sticks it on the jig and he pulls it back into position, that will straighten up that wheel and bring it back into place, he reckons. So he said, all I need to do, all I need to get him is the tailgate, the crash bar, the bumper, the light, and he'll line it all back up and fit it all back together. So, yeah, that's basically what's going to happen on this one. There ain't actually, because I've checked, there isn't actually any damage behind there that I can see. Down there, there's no damage. There's no push. Like the spare wheel's in the way, so we're gonna have to remove that. But it's not tight. It's loose. It's not tight. It's loose. So yeah, but you don't really know until you start stripping it down, taking all these carpets off. You know, start stripping it right down, which is we're gonna do. We're gonna actually do that. We're gonna strip it all down for him, get all the interior cleared out, so we can have a good look at it. But that's gonna be obviously in another video. You can see that that's been pushed in there compared to here. So that's out. This trim's not damaged, but that's been pushed in. And I think that's why we've got that movement, or why we've got that bit of adjustment on that suspension. That exhaust, that's completely gone. Don't know what's gone on there, but that's completely gone. So we're going to have to get another exhaust going through as well. And all the parts for the rear end. I've already got some prices for these parts as well. So they're not actually that expensive because, believe it or not, it's not a hard colour to find. And most of the parts that are on eBay and places like that, they've been holding on to them because they don't come up very often, these colour. So actually, there's quite a lot of parts in colour for this car, which is unusual really. It's normally the other way around. Like with that Renault Modus, the Grand Modus we're doing, there's not a lot of parts for that car. So it's kind of on the flip side that being a Fiat 500, there's parts everywhere in colour as well, so that's good. So yeah, this is the Damge really, but I've got a price for the tailgate in colour, the complete bumper in colour, both those parts, £160, which is yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. 160 quid in colour tailgate bumper. So that's going to save me some money at the paint shop. But we are going to be spending a few quid at the body shop. He is going to charge me for this, and it's not going to be cheap, I tell you. But it is what it is. I'm not going to do any pull. I'm not going to touch this crash bar. He said, leave it alone. He said, just leave it. He said, because he'll probably use that to pull back and position where it should be to get his. I don't know what he was telling me something, but he said, don't remove that. I said, I'll probably remove the tailgate. He said, yeah, you can change the tailgate over if you want, because that don't matter to him. The tailgate doesn't really matter. I'll put it in the same position that this one is in at the top. Stick all the wires back in, get all that sorted out. He said, but apart from that, don't really sort of go doing anything else. So, yeah, that is where we are with it. Cat S on the rear, and I quite like this colour. I honestly quite like it, and I think it's quite a nice little popular colour to have. But let me show you the inside of this car, because it is grim. It's bad. And the reason why it's this bad is because of these, these seats are absolutely terrible for keeping clean. Don't get me wrong, they'll clean up. That I'll make them seats and this interior like brand new. Absolutely, I will. But at the moment, they're just very disgusting. She starts, runs and drives. Believe it or not, with that wheel, it does actually drive, because I drove it in here. The trouble is the exhaust is blowing. Can you hear it blowing? That's obviously on the flexi at the front. The flexi at the bit at the front. That's that, I think. Which is coming from this end. Which is quite a popular, quite a normal thing to go on these cars. Those flexis. But yeah, it is blowing. So I think I'm just going to replace the whole exhaust. I've got to be honest. Might as well. We've got a few lights on the dash, as you can see. It's given me a few warnings as well. ABS unavailable. So we're gonna plug in. We've got engine management light on there. So we're gonna plug the when I plug in the computer, I've got the software for this one, so we're going to use that. No CD. Sport button, which works. Yeah. Just needs a good clean. Got the locking wheel nut key, so that's good in here. Yep. I might just remove that actually. Just remove those and put the original bolts back in. Because again, I don't want someone to lose it. Nothing in the usual. No books, got no service history, got no books, nothing. So again, it's going to have a full service, timing belt, water pump. We're going to do all that. I do like to do it on these cars, I've got to be honest, at this age. And we haven't got any history ourselves. service history or record of it being done or anything like that at all. So it's just nice to get the it's nice to get the service, the timing belt, the water pump and the full service done on these cars. But yeah, it's just a nice little cheap. This was really cheap, I've got to be honest. I ended up paying, including the fees, I ended up paying like 450 quid for this. And obviously the reason why is because of the rear. It's going to take, you know, a few quid at the body shop to get this repaired. But once it's done, yeah, it's going to be a smart little car for someone. All the gears work fine. There's no issues with clutches or anything like that. The normal stuff with these. Gearboxes is working good. I just don't know. Let me just put that up. I just don't know at the minute if that timing belt is the same as the 1.2. It doesn't look like it is. So does this need another or different timing belt locking set? I've got to get a look into that, see if we've got to change the actual, because obviously I've got a timing belt locking tool set for the 1.2, but this is the 1.4, and it might be different. I don't know. I've got to look into that, see if I can work out if I need another one or not. But yeah, right, well, what do we think, guys, of the new project? It's just going to be a nice little Fiat 500 for someone. Very popular, I think, these. And yeah, I don't understand the rear discs and pads. I've not done one like this with discs and pads in there. Discs feel really good. The tyres are like brand new. You still got all these bubbles around all the tyres. Yeah, they're like brand new. I don't think they're matching. Oh, that one's not. That one's not new. Definitely two rears. What is it called? Thunder Row. Is it this one? Yeah. Thunder Row. So two matching tyres on the rear, brand new. So someone's obviously spent a few quid on this before they had the accident or someone drove into them. It could be that blowy exhaust, could just be the fact that because it got hit there, it pushed the exhaust forward and cracked it or broke it further along. So yeah, we'll just have to have a look at it. We'll get it stripped down. I'll put it on the ramp, get it up in the air, and we'll have a good look underneath and see what is going on. Like, if that subframe needs to be replaced, I'm going to replace it. But the body shop guy, he just seems to think that it'd be all right. I just don't know. You don't know. It's obviously been hit here, there, but how is that wheel gone over? Unless the wheel got hit as well, or it went onto a curb, or do you see what I mean? Like, something's not quite right there. He did feel all over there as well. He said you've got a little bit of a little bit of a ding here. He said not that bad, but it's just obviously on the back here. We've done worse than this before on a rear end damage, guys, haven't we? Done much worse than this. So yeah, this, you know, it shouldn't be that bad, but it's going to cost a few quid at the body shop. But he didn't tell me a price. He didn't say it because he needs to do the work before he can give me a price, because he doesn't know how long it's going to take, basically, which is fair enough, I suppose. But yeah, that's it. That's the new project. What do we think? Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know about the colour as well. I really like the colour. The wheels are pretty sporty as well. I don't think they're sport wheels. I just ain't sure. But yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, give the video a thumbs up, guys. And I'll see you Monday in the next one. Take care. See you soon.